All right, moving on to our next game. Oh, this is special. This is the very first time we've seen the Intellivision.
Really?
And it's also special because the Intellivision was released in select areas of the United States in 1979. The whole release across the country was actually next year. So we're pretending we are in New York, where they first showed and released the Intellivision that people could buy the cartridges. So we are getting like the first glimpse of the newest, best system, Dave, for the Mattel Intellivision. And it looks like their first game doesn't sound so good from the back end, but this is auto racing. Let's take a look at the artwork. This is our first time looking at the Intellivision 1979 auto racing. Every system we've seen, they're emulating what Atari's done with their artwork. They go for a full oil paint, really nice, beautiful looking, which I guess is kind of smart when the games are so pixelated.
Yeah, you got to do something eye-catching.
Yeah. It's all about the, what was it, don't judge a game for its cover? Well, it kind of did back then. And we got the back of the box. It contains 1 auto racing cartridge, 2 controller overlays. Oh, that is correct. This, ladies and gentlemen, is our first game to have not just a controller with a number pad, but in the box were overlays that you slipped over the number pad. So when you pushed buttons on the number pad, you were pushing things for the game on the overlay, which means, Dave, this may be a little difficult to translate on modern day controllers. We played other games with number pads, and it wasn't a big deal because they put like a map or something simple as one of the buttons. But this one, some of the games may actually be controlled by the numbers on there. So I'll be able to walk you through kind of what we map them to, but it is going to be a little interesting. Right. So this is Grand Prix action. Choose 5 different courses, 5 different cars, take the controls, zoom down straightaways. Looks like it's a top-down racing game, and we'll hopefully be able to play together. But looks, yeah, it should be 2-player. And there we go. There's the example of what you'd see over your number pad. And it even still has the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm guessing that all they're saying is it's the joystick, which the Mattel Intellivision had a disc. That's what you used for the joystick to move everything around. And then this overlay came over the top. So it actually looks like the brakes are not, they're not even using the number pad because the Intellivision controller had 2 buttons on the side you could squeeze. So we might not even need it for this one. Might just work where if we want to drive, we just move the joystick and then brake to push the button on the side. There's an example of the cartridge and a screenshot for us. And we got a manual. Is it it's the real manual for the Mattel Intellivision. Now, we're cheating a little bit. The manuals weren't available at the launch in New York for those select people. Whenever you bought the game, the one we're looking at, let me see if I see the release date. Yeah, if you look at the bottom, the release date's 1980. So the program was available in New York, but this would have been for the people that were buying it worldwide next year. We're there for the very beginning of the launch. All right, so here we go. Object of the game. If it's 2 players, you score 50 points before your opponent does. Oh, score the game. It's got to be a score, of course. You get 2 points every time your opponent crashes. They're encouraging kids to crash. And then, if you lead far enough, you get to your picture, you get a point. And then if you see here, this is checking your equipment. We're playing this on a CRT television. And you can see the controller there with the example of where the cartridge plugs in. These controllers were similar to the Nintendo's Famicom, where they're attached to the console. So the console itself had a really long cord. You moved the console to you, and then the controllers that came out of the Intellivision were a lot like phones. They even had the cord like a telephone. And we got in chat, Chiptune Chronicles, welcome. We are here at the release of the Mattel Intellivision, at least for select people in 1979. And they're telling us about how to attach and play the game. There it is, how to slide your overlay over your Mattel Intellivision controller. New concept. No one's done this yet. There's some other consoles we're going to see that will emulate what the Intellivision did. And you can see here, it's using is telling us the numbers at the top are how to select your course and your cars. And then you can see there's buttons on the side of the controller. That's what we'll push. We want to use the brakes. Yeah, the brakes will be the buttons on the side. I'll give you a heads up. If we had this controller in our hand, Dave, you wouldn't be impressed. The disc, it's prone to break a lot. It's the Atari did it best with that one big joystick in the middle. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
And then it says, when you see Intellivision Auto Racing, press the disc or any key on the controller, and then it'll say which course, and then we push the number on our controller to select the course. And this is nice, because this is the manual that you would have seen with instructions on how to play. And then here we go. This is the different courses and checkpoints, and then what cars, and then steering. Oh, here we go. How to use the direction disc to steer your car. I am thinking this is a relative control, or what we'd consider like tank controls.
Right.
So I think they might be doing that with our cars from the top-down view. And then, oh, here we go. Yep. How to steer or be careful about oversteering, accelerating. Lots of information. This is one of the most advanced racing games we've seen you could play at home. Like they have hazards, and this is a racing game that is not played on the same screen, which that's even something that only the arcade's done. You know, the fact that you're moving from screen to screen.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so that was the manual for it. Here we go. This is our first time playing the Mattel Intellivision. It is December 3rd, 1979. This is the small release of the Mattel Intellivision. And so if you look on the bottom right down here on the side, that is the overlay to kind of help us with the controls. And the way this will work, Dave, is when you push the left trigger. Oh. When you push the left bumper or right bumper, it shows your keypad. So if you ever want to pull your keypad up, you can hold that there and then moves the directional pad and then select a number. So if you ever need to push a number on your keypad, that's what you could do.
Gotcha.
And then it's just push your bottom button to use it. All right, so we're selecting our cars, and then
I went and hit the enter, the E.
Okay, pushing enter. Okay, there we go. So are we playing now?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who am I. Oh,
I crashed.
the frame rate is not the best, but it looks like I am white. And Dave, are you green?
I am.
How do I brake? Okay, so if you push the right button, Dave, you'll brake.
Yeah.
And it'll slow us down a little bit. So the frame rate's not good, but this is a game that is allowing us to go further than one screen. We've never seen this at home. Only in the arcades on 2 arcade games. There's still arcade games right now that are playing top-down all on the same screen. Oh, Dave is killing me. So he's green and I'm white right now. It can tell us really pushing the Intellivision. Okay, there you go. So he got a point for being ahead because he lapped me. Okay, here we go. Going to... Oh! Oh, again, he got a crash.
Data crash.
And it's scoring us for... Let's see if I can get the turn. Nah!
That's how my crash. You get confused about where to turn.
Yeah, because what they're trying to do is very impressive, but the delivery isn't as good because of the frame rate. And the way it's controlled, I can't imagine even playing on the Intellivision disc. Come on, turn it. Oh, get it. Oh, I thought you got the lap for that one because you got me at the very end. We'll see if you can pull ahead. Come on, come on.
Ah,
They counted it as a crash. Oh, because it was a tree in someone's yard.
it does look. My car does look like Frogger.
Oh, we heard from Trat. The green car looks like Frogger. Love it. We don't even know what Frogger is. This is 1979. All right, so I'm good to move on to the next one, Dave, if you are.
Yeah.
Something to think about. It didn't have different game modes. It had different courses and different cars. So it was the same game mode. But, again, as my guess, out of 5 stars, what would you give Auto Racing for the Mattel Intellivision, our very first Intellivision game?
I think it feels solid, but pretty basic, so I'm thinking more like 3.
Okay, great. 3 stars for Auto Racing. All right, so I think we're getting more launch titles. Let's see. Yes, our next game that was the launch for the Intellivision is Las Vegas Roulette. And that means since it's a gambling video game, we're going to go ahead and just give it 0 stars and move on. Unless, Dave, you have a penchant for roulette.
I'm fine.